as human beings, we tend to look for the example of others. We try to follow people that are good examples of what we should do in life when problems encounter us. For me, that person is my mother. Today I will be talking about my mother. Her name is Maritza Roman. I will introduce my speech by talking about what my mother means to me, a little bit of background information about her, what she has led me to be in order of what she's taught me, what experiences I've been through with her that have led me to be the man I am today. And then I will conclude my speech. With all that being said, let's jump into the introduction. My mother means to me every single experience I've encountered in life. I was born in 1985, and at that time, she was married to my father, which after a little bit of, like maybe a couple months later, he died in a car accident. And she had to basically raise me by herself. And I consider my mom to be a warrior. She's a fighter. She's been through a lot all by herself. She never got married again. A little bit of background information about my mom. My mom met my dad in Germany in 1983. She was stationed there as an army lieutenant, and she was a nurse for the army. She was a pretty good nurse. Her records indicate that she was a pretty good nurse. She was she had a lot of awards and stuff. And a little after my dad died, she tried to stay in the military, but she couldn't, so she left the military, and then she went to New York to work in the New York Center Hospital as a head nurse. And she did pretty well there too, but at that time, she couldn't take care of me, so she sent me to Puerto Rico with my grandparents. And I spent about my first 2 or 3 years with my grandparents, and she couldn't help herself to be away from me. She couldn't stand a distance. So she left her job and went to Puerto Rico. The economy in Puerto Rico at the time was pretty bad, so she had to struggle through a lot of things in life. We come from very humble origins. She didn't have a lot to work with, so the little money she had, she would spend it on us and food and stuff. My mom always taught me this one thing, this one metaphor that I always carry with me, and it goes as follows. She says, "A real man never makes excuses. A real man learns from his experiences. He acknowledges that he's a man and that he will always commit mistakes. We're all humans. We all commit mistakes. That's what we're all about. But a real man defines his life not by making excuses, but by learning from his mistakes and accepting that we're all going to commit mistakes. But the biggest thing about that is learning from those mistakes and not repeating them again." She always taught me that, and I've carried that metaphor throughout my entire life, and it's worked out so well, especially in the military. We all know how the military life is. You're not expected to make excuses. You're expected to make solutions, to find solutions for every problem, and that metaphor has helped me out a lot in life. And I appreciate a lot about that from my mom, from teaching me that, because it's become a very helpful tool in life. Thank you for listening to my speech. That's my mom in a nutshell. I'll see you guys next speech.